Did you know there are over 33,000 gangs in the USA with around 1.4 million members? These gangs cause a lot of trouble, and some leaders are especially dangerous. In this video, we will talk about the most dangerous gang leaders in the country. We will look at who they are, what they do, and why they are so feared. Buckle up as we delve into the dark world of America's most notorious crime bosses. Alex Sanchez, MS-13. Alex Sanchez is deeply involved in the criminal world, specifically with the infamous MS-13 gang. MS-13 is known for its brutal crimes, including kidnapping and murder. Sanchez was accused of horrific acts, including a disturbing crime involving the murder of a teenage girl in Texas, which was allegedly part of a satanic ritual. Reports say that Sanchez, along with Diego Hernandez Rivera, faced serious charges for this crime. They allegedly held the girl and two others captive. The situation took a dark turn, where the girls supposedly disrespected their satanic shrine, leading to her tragic death. Her body was found with severe wounds in a Houston neighborhood. Under leaders like Sanchez, MS-13 is known for its extreme violence and complete disregard for human life. Their crimes often involve terrifying rituals and are carried out with a strict code of silence. Michael Catelli, Latin Kings. The Latin Kings gang dates back to the 1950s in Chicago and has a large presence across the US. Under the leadership of Michael Catelli, also known as King Merlin, the gang has grown significantly. Catelli is the top leader on the East Coast, overseeing operations in 14 states from Massachusetts to Florida. Despite facing legal issues and serving time in prison, Catelli has kept his leadership role. He is known to have connections with the Italian mob, specifically the Genovese crime family in New York. This connection influences the way the Latin Kings operate, making them more organized like traditional Mafia groups. The gang, under Catelli's leadership, is involved in serious crimes such as robbery, assault, and murder. Catelli has been accused of ordering attacks on fellow gang members who disrespected him. Despite law enforcement efforts to take down the gang, including a major crackdown in 2005 that led to Catelli's imprisonment, the Latin Kings have continued to grow and expand. Antonio Rodriguez, 18th Street Gang. The 18th Street Gang, also known as CAD 18, is a notorious criminal group rooted in Los Angeles, California. Antonio Rodriguez, a Spanish priest known as Padre Tono, developed a close and controversial relationship with this gang, especially with its most violent leaders. Rodriguez had personal and friendly interactions with Douglas Giovanni Velasquez, a key gang member serving a long sentence for murder. Salvadoran authorities secretly recorded their calls, where Rodriguez promised to help Velasquez with prison transfers and spoke casually, using slang and profanities. This close relationship led to Rodriguez being investigated for helping the gang. He was found to have smuggled contraband, including phones, into prisons. Rodriguez eventually confessed and received a 2-year probation sentence, after which he returned to Spain. The 18th Street Gang is involved in various criminal activities, including extreme violence. One of the most shocking incidents near Rodriguez Church in Mexicanos involved gang members setting a public bus on fire, killing 17 passengers. Eric Holder, Crips. The Crips are one of the most infamous street gangs in the United States, known for their involvement in various criminal activities. A significant and tragic incident involving the Crips was the killing of rapper and community leader Nipsey Hussle by Eric Holder Jr., a fellow Crips member, in 2019. Holder had a brief conversation with Hussle outside his clothing store in the Crenshaw neighborhood. Shortly after, Holder returned with 2 guns and fatally shot Hussle, also wounding 2 other men. This devastating event led to widespread mourning and was a significant loss for the Crenshaw community, where Hussle had heavily invested. Holder was a member of the Rollin' 60s set of the Crips, the same gang with which Hussle was associated. The shooting was believed to be triggered by accusations of snitching, showcasing the harsh and often violent internal politics of gang life. Holder's defense argued for a manslaughter conviction, citing emotional triggers and mental health issues. But he was sentenced to a minimum of 60 years in prison. The Crips are involved in various crimes, including drug trafficking, robbery, and violent assaults. They operate under a strict code, often punishing perceived disloyalty or disrespect with severe consequences. Alfredo Raul Nuno's Barrio Azteca. Alfredo Raul Nuno's, a 37-year-old from Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua, Mexico, was sentenced to 10 years in prison for his role in a hostage-taking conspiracy linked to the Barrio Azteca gang. He pleaded guilty to conspiracy to take a hostage and 3 counts of hostage-taking. The case began on February 5, 2012, when 3 migrants who had crossed into the United States illegally were taken hostage. They were transported to trailers in Vado, New Mexico, where their phones were confiscated. Munoz, along with his co-defendants Ricardo Santos Noria and Luis Roberto Gordo Mesa Marin, told the migrants they wouldn't be released until their families paid more money. The hostages were threatened with death and harm. Munoz was acting under orders from Barrio Azteca gang member Eduardo Padrino Solano Garcia. He communicated with the migrants' families to demand ransom. Once the ransom was paid, the migrants were released and encountered Border Patrol agents, leading to the arrest of Munoz and his co-defendants. Barrio Azteca, known for its criminal activities along the US-Mexico border, is involved in various illegal operations, including human trafficking and extortion. Billy Arnold, 7 Mile Bloods. Billy Arnold, a key leader of the 7 Mile Bloods, SMB gang, was convicted of several serious crimes, highlighting the dangerous influence of gang leaders in urban areas. At 37, Arnold was found guilty of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of murder in aid of racketeering, 10 counts of attempted murder, and multiple firearm charges. The SMB operated primarily in the Red Zone, an area on Detroit's east side between Gratiot Avenue and Kelly Road, and between 7 and 8 Mile roads. This area, with the ZIP code 48205, was notorious for gang violence. SMB members often referred to it as 4820 Die to emphasize its deadly reputation. Arnold's crimes were part of an ongoing gang war that began with the murder he committed in July 2014. Shortly after a parole office meeting, Arnold followed and shot rival gang members, killing one and seriously injuring another. This act sparked a violent feud between the SMB and rival gangs, leading to numerous attacks and threats shared on social media. In 2015, Arnold was responsible for the murder of a rival gang member and the shooting of several others. One of these incidents tragically paralyzed a 15-year-old. Arnold's actions demonstrated a pattern of reckless violence that left a lasting impact on the community. Paul Lil Doc Wallace, Florencia 13. Paul Lil Doc Wallace, a key leader in South Los Angeles' gang scene, an important figure in the East Coast Crips, was sentenced to 35 years in federal prison for his involvement in a 2004 murder and racketeering charges. Wallace's criminal career and leadership in the violent East Coast Crips made him a significant player in the gang world. Despite his notorious past, Wallace was also known for helping broker a truce between the East Coast Crips and Florencia 13, a neighboring Latino street gang, after a 20-year gang war. His defense team emphasized his peacekeeping efforts and the fact that he had been shot multiple times as reasons for a lighter sentence. However, the prosecution argued that Wallace's claims of reformation were superficial, presenting evidence of his continued involvement in gang activities, even while in custody. This included managing gang operations, orchestrating extortion, and intimidating witnesses. The complexity of Wallace's case was evident in court, with Judge Andre Baruch Jr. acknowledging both Wallace's attempts at change and the seriousness of his crimes. Ultimately, Wallace received a 35-year sentence for murder and racketeering, followed by a 5-year probation period upon release. Manuel Cricket Madrono, Mexican Mafia. The Mexican Mafia, also known as La IM, is a powerful and influential prison gang with significant control both inside and outside prison walls. Manuel Cricket Madrono, a former member, offers a glimpse into the gang's operations and the harsh realities of gang life. Madrono's story is one of change. He started as a troubled youth and rose to become a high-ranking member of the Arizona branch of the Mexican Mafia. His loyalty to the gang was cemented through violent acts, including stabbings and other crimes. However, Medrano's view on gang life changed dramatically when other gang members started threatening his pregnant partner. This forced him to rethink his choices and ultimately led him to leave the gang. Leaving Latin was not easy and came with serious risks, including betrayal and threats against his family. Who do you think is the most dangerous gang leader and why? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and stay safe.